I really don't know why, but it really makes me uncomfortable to look at. It straight up looks like a knockoff. Hello everybody, my name is Tor and this is Anthropology. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to be discussing the new Gucci Aria collection that has been released, I guess, in collaboration with Balenciaga for the celebration of their 100 years as a fashion house. So there's a lot to discuss in this, primarily be touching on the looks that were in direct collaboration with Balenciaga. So essentially what we know about these two brands is that they're both owned by Kering, which is a luxury conglomerate based out of France. Kering owns a variety of different brands as well, not just these two, but these two are probably at the forefront of the conglomerate's, I guess, profits and brand image. So it's very interesting that these two have collaborated together. I mean, we haven't seen Gucci collaborate with another fashion house like this, and I think we haven't seen any large fashion houses collaborate together before, which is quite interesting. Usually different collaborators will either be streetwear brands, they'll be like hype brands that brands will collaborate with in order to gain hype, to gain access to the streetwear community. But it's rare that these two fashion brands that have quite extensive histories and legacies themselves would come together to work on a collaboration. Gucci and Balenciaga have fairly different aesthetics, I would say. Balenciaga right now under Demna, his aesthetic for Balenciaga is very broad shouldered, it's very angular, it's very pointy, but also very like tight to the body with different fabrics that are not really luxurious. Like, I don't know how luxury Balenciaga is right now. It has a luxury price tag, that's for sure, but the clothing itself is very streetwear oriented. And then conversely, Gucci is like sort of taken a turn from the Tom Ford days where it was like really sexy and glamorous to where it was under Alessandro Michele, very kind of like ugly, like 70s inspired retro with the big floral prints and the glasses and the hair and the ugly bags and the ugly prints. And it was sort of like a mockery of Gucci, which I guess does make sense with Balenciaga's collaboration with them, because as we know, Demna Gvasalia, he also runs Vetements, which is more or less a brand that rips off other brands or does things that are more outrageous in terms of pricing, and then the design is really basic. It's an interesting collab to say the least. Essentially, I think it's going to sell very well, and I'm really curious to know how the distribution channels will work for this collection. So we know that it was a part of Gucci's runway, so it wasn't a part of Balenciaga, and primarily everything has the Gucci logo, but with just Balenciaga printing. So I'm assuming it'll be distributed through Gucci stores, maybe select Balenciaga stores, but it looks like it's going to be a Gucci release. So if I look over here, it's just because I have the looks primarily pulled up onto my laptop. So I want to start with one of the first looks that we see, and I'll input it on the screen here. So it's this sort of purple lurex top with the knife boot pants that Balenciaga did before. So these are like lurex, they're very tight to the body, they're very spandexy material, and they're a knife boot that goes all the way up into pants. But what they've done for this collaboration is that instead of making them in sort of outrageous neon colors, they've put them with the Gucci Supreme logo print. I think this has been very smart. Obviously, that is a style and I guess a silhouette that is very synonymous with Balenciaga. So to have it done under Gucci's infamous Supreme GG logo, I think is very interesting. I think they're kind of horrific to look at. I think they're so ugly, but I think the design is there, like the thought is there. And then if we go to the top is sort of ruched off the side, and I feel like I've seen this color of purple from Balenciaga before, but what they've done differently this time is they've put the green and red Gucci striping to make it look very Gucci. So it really does look like a collaboration between the two, which is quite nice. Some of the looks are obviously very Gucci. It looks like there's like a sexier Gucci that's coming back, maybe like a renaissance of Tom Ford era Gucci, which is like sequins and like skin tight and sex appeal, and like a shift away from the ugly Gucci that we've been getting, unfortunately. So one thing that I think is very interesting is that you can see a lot of the collaboration within the tailoring of the jackets. So primarily these two for men, so these are like the hourglass jackets that Balenciaga is famous for right now, but they're done in the giant GG Supreme, but also with the Balenciaga horizontal writing. Balenciaga's done this on a lot of different things. They do it on sweaters, scarves, hats, jackets, like you name it, they do it. It's basically just like logo branding. I don't want to say fashion, it's basically just merchandise. But what they've done here, which I think adds another layer, is that they put both logos on top of each other, so you can really see these are unique pieces. So some of the other looks here that they've done, especially the one with the flower print. So we've seen this flower print from Gucci before. I don't know exactly when, but I do associate it with Gucci, but they've done it within the look from a Balenciaga show. So like the full head to toe hourglass jacket with the skirt, with the knife pants, with the hourglass bag, but it's all with the Gucci fabric, which I think is very interesting because again, that shows like a collaboration of the two in different ways, as opposed to, it didn't seem like they created outwardly new garments. So basically new garments that we've never seen before, but they took existing options and existing silhouettes and fabrics from the two houses and sort of collaborated and combined them together to form a single piece, which I think was very smart. So a few of the other ones which I really want to talk about. So in one of the main looks that I saw was the silver version of the skirt suit. So the silver sequin version with the hourglass jacket, with the skirt, and then the knife boots as well. So essentially this one, instead of having the GG Supreme logo and then the Balenciaga logo sort of superimposed on top of it, this one, it's like they are colliding next to each other. So it's like Balenciaga, Gucci, etc. This is a loud outfit. Like these are outfits that you should be going somewhere if you're wearing this outfit. It's not like you're just gonna go to the supermarket in this outfit just because. I think that'd be a waste of the outfit, but I definitely find these collaborations are definitely very interesting. It's very unexpected. So now moving on to another one. So there is one that looks like it's just Balenciaga, like this was a straight up Balenciaga piece that they plucked from one of the stores. It's the black hourglass jacket and it just says Balenciaga. I think it's quite hard to find any Gucci printing on this one, unless they have it obviously of course in black and it's like more detailed, and if you see it up close then it would make sense, but from afar from the runway it straight up just looks like they picked a Balenciaga piece from one of the stores and like just put it on one of the mannequins. One of the models, mannequins, oh my god. So the other one that we have is the traditional sort of men's tailoring for Balenciaga with the really thick shoulder pads and like the squared off shoulders and then just very straight down. But what they've done is they've put the Gucci GG Supreme printing, but done in a sequin in black and blue. And I think that's a very interesting sort of combination as well, because then you take the silhouette that is like the hourglass jacket for men, but then you put the GG printing on it, which is quite nice. Okay, so this is the first bag. So this is their hourglass shape. They've become really known for this over the past few years. It's sort of one of their newest popular designs. I really don't know how to feel about. So this is the hourglass in the full GG classic brown like monogram, and I kind of hate it. I really don't know why, but it really makes me uncomfortable to look at. It straight up looks like a knockoff, like something you would find where you would go to one of those night markets and they would just have it there and you'd be like, oh, like that's a really interesting combination, but everyone's gonna know that's fake because it doesn't exist. But now it does exist. I find it kind of terrible. So another one that they've done, this is sort of a newer style. I believe it's the Sylvie bag. I don't know, they've sort of reintroduced the style. It was popular in the 70s, and then they sort of brought it back last year or 2 years ago in the mini version and the bigger version, but now they've done it with the crossbody version, but they've just put the old Balenciaga sort of monogram typing on it. I actually quite like this one. I think it's more understated. It's definitely not as in your face. The hourglass and the GG Supreme, I don't know, it just looks like there's like too much going on, but I know that that is what these brands are known for. These brands are known for being loud. These brands are known for being literally too much. So having a bag that is the combination of too much together is just like overload, and I think, like, I don't know, I hate it. I freaking hate it. So one thing that I really do like is this necklace. So this one necklace that says Balenciaga, but then in the G of the Balenciaga they put the GG logo, and I think that's a really fun way to mix the brandings. So I guess this leads me to wonder where this could bring fashion in the future. Like, will we see collaborations between like Prada and Miu Miu? I know they're both run by Miu Prada, so like the chances of them collaborating are fairly high, but it does sort of bring about this idea, is like, will Celine and Louis Vuitton collab? Will Dior and Louis Vuitton collab? Will Chanel and like Hermes collab? Like, who knows? I feel like this really opened a door for the large fashion houses to collaborate with one another, as opposed to collaborating with smaller brands or sort of more popular brands in the moment, or hype brands or anything like that. And I think it can really be interesting to now we see all these aesthetics that are merging together, and sort of there's a lot more flow within fashion. It's not just like you're either a Chanel person or you're a Celine person or you're a Louis Vuitton person, and like those are the only aesthetics that you can follow. But now when we see like there's like a mix of aesthetics, I think it's quite interesting. Overall, I think the collection is very fun. I will link the video to the Gucci Aria runway, and I think the collection will sell very well. I think it's going to do really well in stores. I won't be buying any of it because I don't A, have anywhere to go that would require such outfits, and B, I think they're all kind of heinous, and I would never purchase it or spend my money on it. But I'm very curious to see what the pricing will be. I bet it's going to be fairly expensive. I bet they're going to be limited production, and these will become collector's pieces. So I guess we'll see where these collabs go. Is it a one-off? Is this something that will be sort of happening more and more within the industry? Let me know what your favorite or least favorite items were within this sort of micro collection within a larger collection, and what collabs you'd want to see. I know I would personally want to see like Celine and Prada, or I guess Raf Simons joining Prada as one of the creative directors could be viewed as something similar to a Balenciaga and a Gucci collaborating, just given Raf Simons has his own aesthetic, Prada has its own aesthetic, and then collaborating together, we've seen their new collection is sort of interesting. But yeah, that was my video. I felt really inspired to make it, and if you enjoyed this video and you like this content, consider liking this video, commenting down below, and subscribing for more. Thanks. Bye. Indirect collaborator that were indirect. Oh my god.